Welcome back to Workplace 30. We're on to section 3.3, which is titled Percentile Ranking. You can start by reading page 185, titled Math on the Job. Question number 1 says, where does Manitoba rank on the range of wages? So there's about 8 wages lower and 4 wages higher than Manitoba. Manitoba's right about here, 3102. Then number 2, we want to calculate this number as a percentage. So we know that there's 8 lower than Manitoba. So to calculate a percentage, you go the value that you're looking at divided by the total value. So 8 divided by 13 is about 62% of provinces have a lower minimum wage for registered nurses. Then you can go to read page 135 and 136, explore the math, and fill out the following definitions. So just double check your definitions should be like they are on my page here. Now percentile rank and percentile, on everything I found, they're kind of interchangeably used. So percentile and percentile rank are very similar meanings. The formula is given here. Note that B is the values below the given value and N is the total number of values. So let's try this out. Example 1. Here we have Great Canadian Insurance Company is evaluating the amount of coverage they offer for various services. They've collected the following data about the cost of physiotherapy sessions at various clinics in Vancouver. So there's all your data. We want to calculate the percentile for 85. So we need to first calculate percentile. We need to first calculate the number of values below that 85 mark. So count how many are below. And we also need to find out the total. So we need to find B and we need to find N. So you should have counted and got that 9 are below the value of 85 and we have a total of 15. So divide those two values and you get about 0.6. We do need to make that into a percentage. So we times by 100 to get 60. They're in the 60th percentile. And let's try B. Here's another company. They want to determine if you're in the 80th percentile, what is the cost at that 80th percentile? So we're trying to figure out the cost at the 80th percentile. Now we know PR, so PR is 80. We need to find B, and we know that N is 15. Now 80, I did something wrong here with 80. This is a percent, so it should be a decimal. Good, it should be 0.80. So I can find that B is 15 times 0.8, or B is 12. So now to calculate the actual cost, we need to find the 13th value in this data set. So we count through here. So to find out what the actual cost is, it's best if we rank them from least to greatest, and then we need to pick the 13th value because we know that there's 12 values lower than the value we're looking for. So the 13th value would be right there. So $140 would be the cost in the 80th percentile. Next, we've got Alexander is the manager of a busy chain restaurant. Out of 35 restaurants, Alexander's restaurant is the only restaurant in the 20th percentile. How many restaurants were more successful than his? And we know that out of 35 restaurants. So our percentile ranking is 20, but we have to write that as 0.20. We're looking for B, and we have 35 total restaurants. So B is 7. That's how many restaurants were less than his. So now we need to figure out how many were actually more successful. So there's 35 total. We subtract the 7 that were less than him. We also have to subtract his to find out the number greater. So 27 restaurants did better than his. Subtracting his own is key because we need to figure out just the number higher, and the percentile here is just the number lower. Then you have an assignment on page 140, questions 1, 2, 3, and 4.